We find ourselves in Matthew chapter 2 studying the story of the wise men. We saw some misconceptions about the wise men, and the biggest one is this, that they didn't follow a star from the east all the way to where Jesus was. They saw the star in the east, and then it did not appear again until after their meeting with Herod. It was then the star led them to where Jesus was. But our question this week is this: what are you going to do when your star disappears? We looked at other people in the Bible when their star disappeared, like Joseph and Abraham and Noah, how they got through it even though no one was bowing before Joseph and no children was born to Abraham at 90 years old, and no rain had fallen after 120 years of building an ark for Noah. What are you going to do when the star disappears? Well, I want to answer that based upon what the wise men did. And we started the last 2 days to get to this point. But number one, the first thing they did was this: they remained faithful. They remained faithful. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse number 24 says, "Faithful is he that calleth you, who also will do it." These wise men, they stayed the course. These wise men, they went over mountains. They had to go through valleys. They had to go through deserts, and there was never a star there to lead them. But they just kept going. They remained faithful. You know, there's sometimes you can't see the star, and there's sometimes the fruit isn't there, and there's sometimes you kind of look around and you wonder, what do I do? Just a couple weeks ago, I and my wife were traveling through North Carolina, and we were in the middle of the night, about 3 in the morning, and great big fog settled down on the roads and the highways. And as we're traveling through the mountains that we didn't know really quite frankly where we were and what, we knew the road we were on and the general direction we were heading, but we didn't know where the curves were, where the hills were. But this big fog settled in. I couldn't see much far ahead of me at all. So all I had to do was focus. It was a thick fog. I focused on the lines on the road. And I kept my car right between those lines, followed them. You know, there's sometimes in life that you're traveling down through life and you can't see ahead of you. You definitely don't see the stars. You definitely don't see the fruit. And you really can't see what God's doing around you. But you stay between the lines. You focus on the lines. You focus on God's word. You just be faithful and do what you know you're supposed to do. Stay between those lines and just keep on going forward. When all you know is God called you long ago, stay faithful. When the obstacles come in your way, stay faithful. When the burden gets so heavy, stay faithful. When your spirit may get low, stay faithful. The first thing that these wise men did, obviously, was they kept the course. There wasn't a star that led them. There wasn't a voice from heaven that spoke to him. There were no more dreams. There were no more visions. They just kept going forward. And my friends, when your star disappears, stay faithful.